Now, going from the hottest game, hot-selling game of all time, let's go down a nostalgia path for a moment, if we can.
All right. Oh. Going back to the old school days. How far back are we going to go?
We are going to go back, not all the way back. We're not going back to nickel pinball, but we are going to the FC Mobile 2. Now, this is a portable, handheld system that plays NES cartridges. So we're going to open this up and take a little look at it.
Okay, so we're going to about 1985, 86.
And just as a side note, like, don't tell anybody, but you can buy this from Killin' Enterprises, which is also the Pop Culture Network store. Go to popculturenetwork.com and click on store.
Now, we're actually out of this model, but we will be back in stock soon.
No, we've got one left.
Do we?
Yeah, there's one left of this. It's the Super Nintendo we're out of. But we'll cover that one next week.
Yeah, don't... So anyway, go to popculturenetwork.com, click on the store, and you can check one of these out. If they're out of stock, they'll be back in stock soon, so just keep checking.
So first of all, here is the main unit itself. This is the FC Mobile 2, and it's basically just form factor. Looks like a Game Boy Advance or a Neo Geo Pocket Color, something along those lines.
Looks more like a Neo Geo Pocket.
The main thing, though, is that you can see this huge cartridge slot on the top. And that's because you're going to take one of these big bad boys, which is about twice the size of the actual unit, and slide it right in, just like that. And this is, this works as a handheld system as well as a TV top unit. Because you can either play using the little screen that's right here, or it comes with cables. You've got a power adapter, and it comes with audio-visual cables, which... Did I lose them? Oh, no, here they are. It comes with audio-visual cables, and you can plug it into your TV set using the plug here on the back, and it has wireless controllers that you can use to play. Yeah, here, check out the zapper.
Now, again, if you have a Nintendo at home, you might want to use that. But if you're one of the gamers on the go and you want to play some old school, take it with you, this would be perfect. If you're going over to stay somewhere for the weekend and you don't want to lug that big old bulky unit, this is probably the best thing you can do. For me, this is great just because I like to wander around the house. Follow the kids around. Normally, you're tied to a TV set, but for me, it's like the kids go running in the other room, you got to chase after them, so I just carry this around my house. Now, this is an NES on a chip. And if that just made your blood boil and all your hair fall out, then this is not the system for you. It's 99.9% compatibility. Yes, this will play Castlevania 3. So it's not your standard NES on a chip. This is a new one that they've put together. But it is still an emulator built inside the hardware. But for being the system that it is, and if you're someone like me who's, let's be honest, I was going to buy this regardless of whether or not it was an NES on a chip or if they'd miniaturized the actual guts of the NES. And it still follows the same rules where you got to every so often to get the games to work right. That's retro.
But it does have a reset button on here, which is nice if you just want to, start your game over. And so that's a pretty good deal. You've got your start, your select buttons, your buttons. You've got your A and B, but then you've got the turbo buttons. Those are your AA and your BB. So if you want to do a little turbo action, if you're playing Spy Hunter or Road Blasters and you want to get in some extra shots, you got buttons for that too. This does run on regular batteries, so you are going to have to stock up on your Duracells, unless you're going to be using the adapter.
As well as the controllers. They also will be taking their own separate battery because they are wireless. So they all have their own battery. And even the gun has its own little battery compartment. So you're going to have a pretty good investment in some batteries.
Now the gun does feel kind of light.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty hollow. It's mostly a shell to remind you of the zapper.
If you ever opened up your Nintendo or any of the old stuff anyways, you know that
it's like a circuit board and a power transformer, and that's it.
And a lot of metal.
But one thing I really like about these pads is that they have a nice spring to the buttons. A lot of times you buy these, and they just feel kind of mushy. You push down, and you can't really feel... Like, these have a nice... You push down, you feel you're at the bottom, and it springs back. Yeah. It's not mushy like most of them are.
Sound,
yeah. And then, of course, they also doubled the buttons on the top like a Super Nintendo controller, but these are the same A and B. So if you want to just goof off with those instead, you can.
And honestly, I like the Super the Nintendo controller.
with the curve.
Yeah.
Well, and when they released the top loader NES, I believe they redid the controllers like this. So
I guess it's called the wishbone style. Is that what they call it?
is that what it's called? The wishbone?
Wishbone style versus the box.
I used to love that show. That little dog, he was cute. One thing though, again, another annoying thing though is they put the screw on all the battery compartments. So when you get this and you're putting in your batteries, you better have a screwdriver handy because there's screws all over the place you're going to have to open.
I guess they expected a lot of kids.
Well, it keeps them from falling out if you drop
Right.
it or whatever. But I mean, that screen looks nice, and it's clear, it's sharp.
Yeah, it's actually it feels really small, but if you were playing Nintendo back in the day, anyways, you were playing on the worst possible TV in comparison. So this thing looks a million times better. It is kind of small. I think it's only like 2.5 inches, maybe 3 inches.
Right.
But that's pretty standard for most of the Game Boys out there and cell phones. So overall, I think I like the machine.
And it's got a headphone jack. If you want to use headphones, you can do that. It's got a volume control knob on there. So pretty much everything you can think of that you'd want in a system like this is there. So it's actually pretty nice, and I love this thing.
And again, you could plug this into the unit and plug it directly into your home TV. So it's a portable unit and it's a home unit. So it's both things in one. And honestly, let's face it, the Nintendo is over 20-some years old now. Majority of them do not work anymore. They're getting old. They're getting
You're going to have to replace pins. We have to do a lot of pin replacement on old Nintendo systems.
But most of these will play pretty much just pop it in and play. So if you're wanting to go retro, I would say buy one of these new remakes, any of the FC line. But if you want something that you can take with you, I'd spend the money on the FC Mobile versus a stand-at-home unit.
Yeah, I mean, I really like it. And again, with the NES on a chip, I didn't think I was going to because, it's 99.9% compatible. Rolling Thunder doesn't work.
Which,
I think Gauntlet doesn't work. Yeah, because those were they had to crack the NES lockout to get them to work in the first place, so those don't work on something like this. But Castlevania 3, which doesn't work on, like, anything, works just fine on this, which I was very happy to find out. So, all in all, it's a good system, definitely worth picking up. Well, I think we've killed enough time, so we're just going to go ahead and wrap it up now. Like I said, this is probably the worst show about video games you've ever seen in your life. That's why we're the losers. But hopefully we'll get better next time we do it, huh? What do you think?
We can only get better, I think.
Nowhere to go but up.
You can send us your comments and tell us what you like, what you don't like. This is obviously the first test show that we're going to do.
This is a pilot.
Right.
Pilot.
It's a
pilot episode.
Please sign it up and take us for 5 to 10 more episodes.
But be sure to check us out, VGLosers.com, part of the Pop Culture Network. PopCultureNetwork.com, of course, the new home for That New Toy Smell, INeedComics.com, LockerRoomHQ.com, VG Losers. We're all wrapped up there, one big happy family. We got forums. We've got shows about TV shows. We've got shows about toys. We've got podcasts about wrestling, MMA, sports, toys, whatever. So make sure you stop by PopCultureNetwork.com and check out all the stuff we got to offer.
That's right. And then also, while you're there, you can check out our store. Just click the big button that says store, and you can buy some of the video games that you see all around us.
Like, if you want that copy of Metal Gear Solid 3 that came in the box set, but you don't want to buy that whole box set with all 3 Metal Gear games, we got you covered right here.
We stripped it down and gave it to you at a decent price.
So make sure you check us out, and I think that's going to do it for today. Again, I'm Dirt.
I'm Kellen.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye. Let's go play some of this.